So today's mostly going to be, totally, it's going to be about hope and about a dream that not only Martin Luther King Jr. had, but the dream that so many of us have in our country now and around the world. So,
Welcome to Success Through Meditation. I'm Shakti, coming to you from a lineage of enlightenment to help you to see, honor, and love the light within yourself so that you can see, honor, and love the light within others.
So anyway, on this note, we're going to play a couple of excerpts from a couple of his speeches. So here we go, Leela. Go ahead and begin whenever you're ready. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech is more than a historic moment. It's a moral call to the heart of humanity. He reminds us that the promise of democracy is still unfinished, that while freedom was declared, it has not always been delivered equally. But his answer was not anger, it was love, not violence, but peaceful resistance. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. believed that real change begins when we hold fast to dignity, compassion, and unity, that we must never judge one another by color or circumstance, but by the content of our character. His dream was not a fantasy, it was a vision grounded in faith, a society where justice flows like water, where opportunity belongs to all, and where former enemies become brothers and sisters. The dream is not his alone, it is ours, a shared responsibility to walk in peace, to speak with courage, and to act with conscience. May we continue this sacred work together. Hope. A dream. That is what we must hold at this time in our world. His words still ring true today, maybe even more so. But the idea is that we must somehow, some way, maintain hope and a vision for a brighter, more peaceful, more loving world and humanity. And to do this, each and every one of us plays a part. We all have our role to play to bring up the consciousness of our world. Each and every one of us plays a role. And we must, bottom line, maintain hope for a brighter future, for a better future for our children, our children's children, and so on. So that we all have the freedom to speak our minds, to change our world, to protest against the indignities that are sometimes forced upon our world by forces by those in power who seek to infuse our world with fear, oppression. We must rise up. We must maintain our hope and do our part. Because in any given moment, you have the ability to respond. We have the ability to respond. Yes, of course, there is sadness regarding all of it. Sometimes we just want to sit and cry. But then we must remember. These are the moments we must remember. That our hope is a choice. Our vision is a choice. And that we can respond to any thought, any situation, any person, in any way you choose. You have the response ability. It's your responsibility to choose. Within ourselves, we have something called a limbic system. It's an auto-responser. It is emotionally programmed to respond in a certain way, and it can be triggered. These auto-responses can be triggered, and when they are triggered, whether it's anger, frustration, whatever it is, it goes through our system in 90 seconds. So after this 90 seconds is completed, we have the choice to keep it or let it go. It's our choice. Whatever the feeling is, 90 seconds. It is completely flushed out of our system in 90 seconds. An anger response is only one of the auto responses, but it is a chemical trigger in the brain. It goes through the body and gives us a physical experience. In my case, you just saw tears. But then we go to smiles and the joy of a vision that I have, that we all would do well to have. A vision of beauty, of love, of kindness, of peace and compassion in our world. So we have this 90 seconds, right? We have the 90 seconds. You can tell yourself this. Okay, you have 90 seconds to indulge, to get through whatever emotion we want to get through. 90 seconds before it's flushed. It literally is flushed from our system. So you can choose to remain sad, angry, frustrated after the 90 seconds, or knowing that it has been flushed from our physical systems, you can choose to move on. It's a conscious choice. To not allow your pre-programmed responses to rule your life, your being. No autopilot. No autopilot. We've been programmed in a certain way, and there's no reason that if we choose not to, that we can't change it. There's no reason. You own your power. But you can only do this by examining your thinking. As Socrates stated, the unexamined life is not worth living. So you don't have to allow your mind to think painful thoughts. It's just as easy to think a happy thought, isn't it? Of course it is. It's your choice. But we have to be aware in making that choice. We must be present. We must be conscious with our thinking, knowing that you have the ability in any moment to choose a different way of thinking, to think peaceful thoughts, loving thoughts, happy thoughts. No matter how much you decide to run a negative or unhappy memory, the outcome doesn't change, does it? It is what it is. The past is dust. It's only our memories of it that keep it alive. The only change that you can have is in this moment, as the left and the right hemispheres of your brain react in different ways. The left side of the brain, from what we understand, is the judgmental, analytical side. The right side of the right hemisphere of the brain is the compassionate, creative, heart-centered part of our brain. So we can choose which one we want to rule and dominate by staying here, by staying present, being aware of our oneness with existence itself, with each other, our connection. And of course, this all comes together in light and love. We all come together in light and love. We make a choice. And when you think about it, kindness to others is really not so difficult, is it? When we realize that everyone is doing their best. As Maya Angelou said, we do what we know. When we know better, we do better. Everyone is doing their best that they have in that moment. Everyone is going to die. When we have these ideas and these thoughts, when someone treats us poorly, they're doing their best. That's compassion. As opposed to thinking they were out to get you. On the road, we have road rage, right? And we have a choice. And I choose to err on the side of compassion. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, maybe they're rushing to get to their wife or husband who is sick or having a child. Maybe they're rushing to get to a sick mother or father. And they needed to go fast. When we have these kinds of thoughts of compassion, it lifts our world, it lifts our vibrations, not just yours, not just mine, it lifts the energy of our planet. And that is what we need right now. We need your help. We need your meditations. This is how we survive. This is how we lift each other up. This is how we support one another. By having the thoughts of equanimity, love, kindness, joy. And we do this through the practice of meditation. When we try to understand someone's possible emotional state so that we can have compassion. Everyone carries baggage. No one is exempt. Everyone, if you've lived more than a year, everyone has baggage. Everyone has a life of memories that they bring along with them. And sometimes these memories cause triggers within us. But remember, we have 90 seconds for that to flush throughout our system, to release, to let go, and then choose another thought, another way of thinking, another way of feeling. So we have to work at this. We have to strive to allow more of the right hemisphere of our brain to rule, the compassionate, loving, creative side. But knowing how your brain works helps to know how to operate in our world. Knowing that the left brain is very, very important, the left side of our brain is very important. It's where our analysis is, where the math side, but it is also the judgmental side. And so we have a choice. Which one rules our lives? When I was a child, I've told you this story once before, at least once. When I was a child, I'll never forget coming home from a really high, I must have been, I don't know, maybe 12, 13, something like that. And I came home and I was so pumped up, so excited, so happy. I had been spiritually uplifted and I was very full and happy. And I walked in and my father, God rest his soul, everyone comes from a different place in life, He had come from almost nothing. But as a child, we don't understand this. Here's what I did know in that moment. My father said something to, don't think so much with your heart. Think with your mind. Use your mind, not your heart. And I remember walking down the hallway back to my bedroom and shaking my head and thinking, nope. I think my heart knows the truth. Of course, I couldn't say that to him, but that's what I was thinking. My heart knows the truth. I'm going to let my heart lead me. I think that's the way to go. So we know these things from a very early age, no matter what we are taught, no matter what those in control of our lives are telling us. We know. And so we allow either our minds or our hearts to influence. And we attract what we think and what we feel. We attract more of that into our lives. When you're sad, you attract more sadness. When you're angry, you attract those who are angry. When you're happy, you attract those who are happy. And it's a lot more fun, I can promise you. A lot more fun to attract happy people, because a lot of times they're really funny too. And that's a fun way to live, isn't it? Because what else do you have to do with your life other than to work to be happy? Finding your purpose, finding your tribe, finding peace, and then spreading it, lifting others. So remember that it's the left side of the brain that is definitely many times trying to loop these negative thoughts. And when we see that, we can shift. We can say, no, I'm going to let my heart lead the way. And it comes with awareness. You have to be conscious of your thoughts. You have to be conscious of your body and how it's reacting. 90 seconds of fear, anxiety, anger. That's all it takes to circuit through your body. So we feel our bodies and then we choose. We choose to bring ourselves back to thoughts of compassion, of happiness, compassion for yourselves. That is tricky, isn't it? The judgmental part of our beings wants to judge us first, judge ourselves first. But in that moment, if you can realize that that does not serve you in any way, shape, or form, never has, never will, you can have compassion and forgiveness for yourself. And then spread that compassion and forgiveness into the world, even for what's going on in our world in this moment. Compassion and forgiveness. Forgive them, they know not what they do, to quote a Bible verse. Because that is the reality. They don't know what they're doing. So we must speak to ourselves. Speak to your brain when it's in this place. Speak to the part that tries to run and control you as you change your emotional state. Pay attention. Verbal abuse is not okay, not only to yourselves, but with others. You must protect and create a peaceful environment for your mind to live in so that you have peaceful thoughts. And to do this, it's very necessary, isn't it, to pay attention to your thinking. So there are tools. Number one, you can replace your negative thinking with positive thinking about something interesting, something cool that you enjoy, that lifts your spirits. Then, number two, think about love. Think about someone or something that you love. And feel the joy that it brings you to feel those feelings of love, peace, happiness, and joy. Love. Focus on love. And usually that's attached to someone, but if not, it's okay. It's not so difficult, really, to just know love when there's no one there. That's another kind of love, to be sure. But we all have it within us, this kind of love, this large, large love. To simply love. No one, no thing, but everyone and everything. To simply love. The third thing, think about something that you'd love to do. Give that some consideration. What would you love to do? And see how that makes you feel. What do you want to spend your life thinking about? What is that? And watch your sleep. Watch your physical body. Watch how you feel. You know, sometimes lack of sleep makes you feel a certain way, takes you into dark and negative thinking, doesn't it? We don't want that to dominate. So peace is what we're looking for in our world today. And it begins with me and you. And of course, inner peace means the ability to tap into a state of peace even when it's chaos outside, while life is happening all around us. Deep inner peace is located in the right hemisphere of the brain. Isn't that interesting? It's always there and always present. These things are not things that you need to seek. It is who you are. It's simply the recognition of it that escapes us when the chaos of life is swirling around us. So it comes down to a willingness to be present, to be right here, to always be right here, right now. Enlightenment is a process of unlearning all that you've been programmed with. That's enlightenment. You have to train yourself to be here, right now. And learn that you are not separate, that you are one as a part of the greater whole. A part of the enormous flow of life. The universe. You're not fragile or individual. The essence of your brain and your heart is eternal. Gratitude helps. When you live in gratitude, happiness rules, peace rules, love rules. So we meditate to slow down, to stay present. We breathe to stay calm. Even in a world that appears to have gone completely, totally, utterly upside down mad, it will come back. Our peace, our serenity will return any second, as long as you choose to connect with that within yourselves. That's where hope lives. Without hope, it's time to die. We must maintain our hope, not only for our world, but for all things beautiful, loving, and happy and peaceful within your own world. Start there. Be at peace. Yesterday, my students asked me with some things that are taking, happily taking energy from my being. What can we do? They said. What can we do to help you? Such a beautiful request, such a beautiful question from anyone. And I responded by saying, be happy. That is the greatest gift you could give me. That is the greatest help that you could give me. Be happy. Live in peace. Meditate. Choose to be happy. And so I say that to you. Make the choice to be happy. Make the choice to be hopeful. And know that this too shall pass. That doesn't mean we sit down and wait for it to pass. No, no. No, no, no. We activate the protective beings within ourselves. What that means is, of course, protesting if you are able. What that means is you donate to those who are trying to make a difference in our world. You speak up. You share things where you can. Share them with others so that they know what's going on. It is shocking to me when I bring up, for instance, Minnesota and what's going on there, that someone would not know about this. We have to share with each other. Shocking to me that there are those who might not know about the monks who are walking 2,300 miles between Denver, I believe. I believe they started in Oregon, or was it Texas? I'm sorry, I can't remember. 2,300 miles to Washington, D.C. Their journey has picked up so much momentum. People are now lining the streets. Streets are flooded right now. They have to now make passageway for these monks to walk through. They're walking for peace. That's it. No other agenda other than to bring an awareness of peace to our country, to our world. Know what's going on. That doesn't mean dive into each and every story. What I have recommended to my students is to simply look at the headlines. At least know what is happening in our world so that we can focus our energies on helping those people who need it most. I've always been of the idea that when I was wondering as a young monk or a young practitioner, a young person on the path, what can I do? How can I help? And I came to the idea that what I can do is whenever something or someone crosses my path who needs help, I can do that. Whether it's putting money in a cardboard box because someone needs the help, whether it's helping an older couple or someone who doesn't know their way around an airport, someone lost, someone confused, someone being hurt, I can help. When that happens right in front of me, everyone chooses their own way, but I chose that way. And also, this is my choice, talking to you and hoping to inspire others to meditate, to meditate, to bring ourselves back into this moment so that happiness can reign, that happiness can live, peace can live right here in this compassionate being that you are, in this enlightened, light-filled, loving, kind, compassionate being that you are. Hopefully, I can help to inspire that meditation is the key that unlocks that door to happiness. Between birth and death, we have a choice. I was reading in the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna was saying, the manifest only happens between birth and death. Before that is the unmanifest, existence itself. And then we come into this world and the body is born, matures, gets older, and dies. This is the process. This is where the manifestations happen between birth and death. After, we return to the unmanifest, existence itself, love itself, life itself. We don't die, which is what Krishna had to drill into Arjuna as he was on the battlefield, and his job as a warrior was to kill. That was his job. So Krishna, God, was saying to Arjuna, do your job. No one dies. There is no life, there is no death. Or actually, not there is no life. There is no death. There is life. And it starts before we get here and it never ends. From lifetime to lifetime. Our spirits, our souls, our beings, whatever you want to call this energy called you, was here before, long, long before the body was, and it will be here long after the body dies. And it's actually not so difficult to see, is it? All you have to do is think of someone that you've lost physically, the love that you had or have for them. It doesn't die, it stays right here, doesn't it? It stays in the heart. It doesn't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, it gets larger because there is no body separating you. The love that you have always known for them stays. That, I would hope, would tell you that our beings have been here a long time and they will be here a long time. In between the unmanifest, the manifest comes, and then we return once again to the unmanifest reality, the light, the love. So hope. Never lose hope. Never, ever, ever lose hope. And keep yourselves happy by meditating daily, once or twice a day. Once great, twice better. For those of you who may be new to the practice of meditation, every day when we wake up, shower, or at the very least, wash your hands and face. Bring your highest, best self to your meditation practice. You've got an empty tummy, you're awake, do some stretches or have a cup of coffee, cup of tea to wake yourselves up. Stay awake during your meditation. Yes, there are many modalities in meditation, and some of them actually say lay down. All of the modalities work. The one that I teach says stay awake. This is the happiest time of your day. Enjoy it. Be very aware during your meditation. So we sit, our back is straight, our hands are resting comfortably in our laps. Maybe you have a particular mudra in your hands. There are many. Look them up. You can be sitting on a pillow on the floor or in a chair with your feet on the ground. Maybe you have a table, a small table in front of you with a candle flame, a flower, a photo or a picture of a deity that you connect with. Something to remind you about peace, happiness, and compassion. Maybe the Buddha, maybe the Christ, a statue, a photo, anything that raises your thinking, that raises your vibration into a happy, blissful state. So we sit, we use music. Our music is infused with enlightened energy to help you to meditate more easily, more deeply, to help to block out the energies, the vibrations, the impulses of those in our world, the billions of people in our world. The music helps. And then at the end of our meditation, we bow, offering up our meditation to the infinite, to God, to Source, to our fellow humans, to infinity itself. We offer our meditation in gratitude. As we begin to prepare to meditate, I'm going to take myself off camera as we take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and hold for the count of 3 at the top. Focus all of your attention on the muscles around your eyes and relax the muscles around your eyes. As you do, observe that your jaw muscles, your facial muscles will also begin to relax. If you have any tension whatsoever in your scalp, relax your scalp. Relax your neck, your throat. Relax your shoulders, your chest, your upper arms, your lower arms. Relax your hands and your fingers. Relax your back. On either side of your spinal column, relax your back. Relax your abdomen. Release all of the muscles in your abdomen. Relax your hips, your upper legs, your lower legs. Relax your feet and your toes. Relax, relax, relax. Focus all of your attention
on your root chakra. It is signified by the color red, so you might want to picture a red ball of light resting at the base of your spine. And we're going to take this energy up through all of our chakras to our crown center at the top of our forehead, at the top of our crown, not our forehead, the crown center at the top of the head. And then we're going to bring this energy all the way down to envelop ourselves in light. So we'll begin at the root chakra, signified by red, going up to the creative center, signified by orange, up to the power center, the navel center, signified by a golden ball of light, up to our heart center, signified by green, emerald green, up to our throat chakras, where truth is spoken, where our truth is spoken. It is signified by a robin's egg color blue. Up to our third eye, an indigo, violet, or white light. Our third eye rests between our eyebrows, an inch or so above, in the center of our foreheads. And then finally up to the crown center at the top of our heads, signified by a white light. This is your direct connection with your spirit, with eternity, with source. Now bring this energy down around your being. This time we'll go a little faster. Focus on the red light at the base of the spine. And up, up, up through all of the chakras, lighting them all up to the top of the crown center, and bring this energy down again around our beings. Once again, the root center, up through the creative, the power, the heart, the truth, the psychic, and the crown center, and bring this energy down around your being, your light, your love. This exercise wakes up all of your primary chakras, energizes you, helps you to start your day. And now for our meditation, I'd like you to focus on the root center once again. We're going to take this energy up to our power center, our navel center, the golden light resting an inch or so above your belly button. Then take this energy up to your third eye, where your psychic, intuitive, your wisdom sits. And now bring this energy down around your being. Once again, the red ball of light at the base of the spine. Bring it up to your power center and up to your third eye. For power without wisdom is nowhere near as wonderful as power with wisdom. Now bring this energy down around your being. Once again, your root center, your foundation, bring that up to your golden power center, to your third eye. And now bring this energy down around your being. Continue this exercise into the first few moments of our meditation music, and then let go. Let go and let eternity do with you what it will. Now, let's meditate.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you all for being here today. I'd like to read something before we go. Before I try to remember the 10 things to do, actually. But this is from Maria Shriver Kennedy, who posted one of the Martin Luther King videos that we saw today. She says, today, as we honor, remember, and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a great man who used his voice to promote service and freedom, I hope we can all stop to ask ourselves, what am I doing for others? What am I doing for my country, my fellow humans? Sit with these questions today and really ask yourself, how are you serving your country, your world, your neighbors, your loved ones, yourself? Big and small, it all matters. Serve up kindness, serve up understanding, serve up love. Find your voice. Find your way to serve this world, to serve others, and make a difference. The world needs you right now. It needs your light, to be sure. And to have plenty of light, plenty for yourself and plenty to serve and plenty to give. Meditate. Meditate daily, twice if possible, is even better. And before we go, 10 things to do. Let's see if I can remember these. First, love someone or something more than you love yourself. Second, take chances constantly. Third, stop taking yourself so seriously. Fourth, start taking others more seriously. Fifth, never, never, ever, ever give up hope. Sixth, meditate more deeply today than you ever have. 7, learn to dance. 8, feel the pain of the world and be happy anyway. 9, look beyond. 9, let go and let eternity do with you what it will. 10, look beyond all of this and know the truth. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. The light in me sees, honors, and so loves the light in you. I'll see you soon. Thanks.